A very good evening to one and all present over here. On behalf of Amity University, Greater Noida campus, I, Saki Sharma, Sister Amity, extend a welcome to our esteemed guest, Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht, a renowned author, Ms. Monica Sharma, Principal of DAV Public School, Pilakhua, Hapur. With a huge round of applause, we welcome both of you to join us. Also, I extend a very warm welcome to our Vice President, Personnel and Registrar, Mr. A.K. Chaudhary, sir, Dean Management and Allied Programs, Brigadier Hardeep Singh Dhani, sir, Dean Academics, Professor J.S. Jassi, sir, our Central Library Head, Dr. Rohtash Singh ji, and Additional Librarian, Dr. Chiranji Lal ji, all head of the departments, faculty members, and my dear students. Dear all, today we have assembled for a highly important event. As today, we are celebrating 72nd Constitution Day of India. Dear all, as we all know that the Constitution Day or Samvidhan Divas is celebrated in India on 26 November every year to commemorate the adoption of Constitution of India. On 26 November 1949, the Constituent Assembly of India adopted to the Constitution of India, which came into effect on 26 January 1950, which we celebrate as Republic Day in India. The Government of India declared 26 November as Constitution Day on 19 November 2015 by a Gazette notification. The year of 2021 was the 131st birth anniversary of Ambedkar Sahab ji, who had chaired the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly and played a pivotal role in drafting of Constitution. I feel highly proud while sharing with all of you that the Constitution of India is the longest written constitution in the world, containing 395 articles, 22 parts, and 12 schedules. It was not typeset or printed, but was handwritten and calligraphed in both English and Hindi. Parts of it have been drawn from the US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, Germany, Russia, France, South Africa, and Japan Constitution. Before we move ahead for the auspicious beginning, please allow me to introduce you all to our two distinguished guests of the day, to all the audience comprising of principals, school students, university and college students, other than the staff, professors, and professionals, making a strength of more than 100. So we have been joined by renowned author, Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji, who is author of the book Blossoms of the 50th Winter, a Ballad on the Constitution. Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht is having an illustrious career as an officer in India Army for 32 years, and then Dean of a law school in a university. He is PhD in law. He is a renowned author and has authored 4 books on tenure and termination of service, Mind the Wonderful Wizard, India-China Relations, and presently this book, Blossoms of the 50th Winter, a Ballad on the Constitution. Also, Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji is now composing the Bhagavad Gita in English rhyme for English-speaking readers in India and abroad. He is Secretary, India Chapter Teachers Division, International Council of Jurists, London. Please give a huge round of applause to Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much.
Also, with a big round of applause, we welcome our invited guest, Ms. Monica Sharma, ma'am, who is Principal, DAV Public School, Pilakhua, Hapur. She is a postgraduate and MPhil in English, and she is passionate about teaching. Her priority is students' happiness and cultivate love for education. She started her career as English instructor in British School of Language. She joined DAVPS, Sector 37, Faridabad in the year 1998. There she was English faculty head, cultural coordinator, head of publication department, chief editor of school journal. She believes in respect for dignity of life and cherishing every individual to untap his or her potential. As principal, she joined DAV Pilakhua in February 2020. She bestowed with Dronacharya Award in 2019 and Award of Excellence in 2021. Please give a huge round of applause to Ms. Monica.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Now, please allow me to share the screen. Please give a huge round of applause for the celebration of National Constitution Day, 26 November, for which we also witnessed the celebrations in the Indian Parliament today morning. I would request now all the senior dignitaries, our guests, head of the departments and students to please unmute your mic and recite the preamble of India, which is displayed in front of you. So we may please start. We, the people of India,
the people of India,
having solemnly resolved to
India into
constitute India into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic
and to secure
to
all its citizens
justice,
social, economic and
political,
liberty
of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship,
yes, equality of status
and of opportunity,
opportunity,
and to promote among them all
fraternity, assuring the
dignity of
the individual and the
unity and integrity of the nation.
integrity
In our
in our
Constitution,
Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt
ourselves this
enact
and give to
to
ourselves
ourselves this Constitution.
Constitution. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Silky Sharma. Thank you so very much for taking us through this preamble.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request everyone to please join hands in officially releasing this book. We congratulate Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji for having the concept and idea of this wonderful book, and the title and the cover page, everything looks so beautiful. And, having this to commemorate our Constitution Day, it's a wonderful outcome of your thoughts. And we would be requesting now to please tell us more about the book, about the concept and the idea behind this book. Over to you, sir, please.
I am very highly obliged, Silky. Thank you so very much for introducing me and this book, making this small contribution of flowers from my side to the nation and to everybody. Before I actually embark upon reading portions of my book or telling you about the book, first of all, I offer and pay my sincerest greetings to the Group Global Vice Chancellor, the very venerable Shri Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh ji, who has actually made it possible and who accepted this, who accepted me as an author for the Author Talk on this such a important occasion of our nation at such a platform which is pan-India, which is national and international platform. I'm so very grateful to him. I'm also very grateful to Shri Anil ji Chaudhary, who gave such a patient hearing to me yesterday, and I found him so gracious. I'm very grateful to Ms. Monica Sharma ji, the principal of DAV Public School, for being here and for gracing this platform and for going through my book completely. It's really, it has gladdened my heart, and I feel very obliged. I also say my greetings to the illustrious team of the Amity University, the group universities here in Greater Noida, and also everybody in India and abroad in foreign countries who are listening to me today. I also say thanks to the students, very bright and beautiful students of DAV school, and I would want to share it with them that I am also one of the DAV students. I studied in Shimla, so I'm just one, like just one of you guys. I'm just one of you guys. Then I have been told that even some government schools have been very gracious and kind to have connected themselves to this platform. and they are also listening to this author talk. I'm very grateful to them and to dear Dr. Chiranji, who has made it possible to connect them also to this platform. Then some of the Sainik schools in India are also connected today with this platform. And I am also very grateful to my, which I must not forget to say, and it is the first thing that I say after this is, grateful to my peers, the officers of the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, who are at various places in the country, who are connected to this platform and who are listening to this author talk. As I have been with them for more than 3 decades, and that continues to be my family. And in particular, the Judge Advocate General's Department of the Indian Army. Now, coming to the Blossoms of the 50th Winter, it's a poetic composition on the Constitution of India. Constitution is basically a law. We study it as not as the Constitution of India, but as the constitutional law of India. The provisions of this book are interpreted in the courts. They are given legal interpretations because it actually is a legal document. It determines the destiny of the Indian citizens. It gives out the law of governance to this country. But what we are talking about is the poetry, the poems composed on this Constitution of India. Is it possible, I ask myself many times, is it possible to write mathematics in poetry? Well, if you ask a mathematician, if we had asked Aryabhat, probably he would say yes. Because law is as precise as mathematics. It is as beautiful and as compact as mathematics is. And so is poetry. Poetry comes from the heart, but it actually speaks the truth, the universal truths. And that is what the mathematics does. I'll take you to the preface. First of all, I would acquaint you with the dedication of this book. When I wrote this book, the only dedication appropriate for this book I found was dedicated to my country, India, that is Bharat, and its beautiful people. So this book is dedicated to the people of India and to my beautiful country. The Blossoms of the 50th Winter, as we see the cover, if I acquaint you with the cover of the book first, I take you over the cover. We have the blossoms. These are the flowers of plum. And why plum? Anybody could ask me why plum. Plum, because plum is a promise of a fruitful spring. We generally know that old adage, if the winter comes, could spring be far behind? Spring is not far behind if the winter comes. And we have the flowers, and this is a plum flower. Plum means it is believed in English thought that if agar plum में फूल आ गया है, अगर आप कश्मीर जाएंगे, श्रीनगर जाएंगे, तो वहां भी यही बात कही जाती है. अगर प्लम में फूल आ गया, इसका मतलब इस बार वसंत अच्छा होगा. So that is why the plum flower is there on top. Yeah, it's the blossoms. And since the plum blooms only in winter. And why 50th winter? The winter of the 1950, 26th of January 1950. And this, if you see, this is a part of glacier, of a part of Himalayan snow. These photographs, which have been taken by either me or by members of my family, we have brought these photos together with the help of, I must mention his name, Natwar, our designer who designed me, and he who designed the cover of this book. We have the blossoms, we have the blue sky, and a few things which you won't have seen, and the readers would definitely love to know about them. We know about the President of India, the highest executive, Babu Rajendra Prasad, sitting on the buggy here. That represents the 26th Jan. Then we have a light of sun falling down onto the book, on the blossoms, if you see. If you see the cover of this book, you see the sun from the common falling on the book. This has been done with purpose. This is the sunrise. It's a new freedom, Declaration of the Freedoms, which is falling on the rest of the book. It is falling on the blossoms. And blossoms is what? It's a collection of promises in the form of rights and duties enshrined in the Constitution of India. These blossoms are the articles, those beautiful articles of this Constitution of India. Then my book has 21 poems. And you must be wondering why 21. This book was completed in the month of December. And we were still in the 21st century. So 1 poem for 1 century. So 21 poems for up to the 21st century, starting from the 1st century onwards. That's why 21 poems. I shall give out the headings, titles of the poems. You can make out how this book has gone about. The first is the Illumination. Then comes Hymns of Immortality. Then the Song of Power. Then Promise Fulfilled. Thereafter the Preamble. Then Vows of Life and Liberty. Then Alliterations. Then the Lords of the Third Eye. Lord Shiva. That is the framers of this constitution, who had that sixth sense, who had that vision in them. Then the Charitable Farmer and the Brave Indian Soldier. The 10th poem is the Lantern and the Beacon. Then Morsels from the Loaf. The Accomplishment, the Gomukh, from where the Holy Ganges has flown. The Entreaty, the Guarantees of the Will. The 7 Divisions. About Alterations. Then Commemoration. There shall be a President. Of Estoppel. Now we're talking a little about law. And then the Blossoms of the 50th Winter. That's the 21st poem. Ladies and gentlemen, much has already been written and a lot will be written in future about our Constitution. For the sheer profoundness of its provisions attracts scholars from the world over. Composing a ballad on the Constitution of India, which is otherwise seen as a legal document, would not be ordinarily considered as a subject of poetry. However, traversing through its origin, the passion and intensity of the debates at the Constituent Assembly, the importance that was given while constructing its every article, its clauses and subclauses, is a mesmerizing maze of inextricably interwoven thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. It, in fact, looks like a garden full of blossoms. Of course it does. The Constitution is like it's a garden. जिसमें बहुत से फूल खिले हुए हैं जो हमें दिखाई नहीं देते, हमें केवल कागज पर लिखे हुए लफ्ज दिखाई देते हैं या सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट की दी जजमेंट्स दिखाई देती हैं, हमें अपने अधिकार दिखाई देते हैं, हमारे ऊपर लगाई गई ड्यूटीज दिखाई देती है, इसके अंदर की खूबसूरती नहीं देखते हम. उसी लिए मैंने ये किताब की रचना की है. The whole world was expectantly waiting, and the blossoms were indeed worth the wait. As its 22 parts started unfolding themselves, there are 22 parts, as in the beginning of this program, Ms. Monica has told us, that this Constitution comprises of 395 articles and 22 parts. And this was announced even by our Silki Sharma ji. So as its 22 parts started unfolding themselves, they let out a crescendo of freedoms, absolute and regulated. Many looked at it with wonder, many with awe, but there it was, full and complete. The future generations had the glimpse of its power in reference to Berubari. That was the first case which came on the Constitution of India. Then followed by A.K. Gopalan, then Champakam Dorai Rajan, then Keshwananda Bharti, the famous case, Shankari Prasad, and the subsequent precedents, big and small. But those were mantras of profound legal contemplations. Poetry wasn't anywhere close. This probably was thus waiting to happen. ये मैं नहीं करता तो शायद कोई और करता. Somebody else would write. Another boy from DV school would have written it. Could have written that. Arun Vishwas didn't have to come. Somebody else can do it. Anybody can do it. This probably was thus waiting to happen. The author poet was witnessing certain distressing events in the environment and seeing the common people of India ravaging the streets in complete disregard to the order and the state resorting to coercive modes to contain the public outrage. It became essential to reveal a little of the beauty of the document. the code which determines the destiny of our nation. Hence this composition. It's a poem for those who would recite, a song for those who would sing. It is presented to the readers with expectation that they would be pleased to read and relish the poses of beauty and fragrance enraptured in its lines and words. So that's about a little introduction about this book. In fact, I was rather surprised, ladies and gentlemen, that when this book actually came, saw the light of the day, some very unexpected people, it went into the hands of some I wasn't expecting. I thought only the people who are actually interested in knowing about Constitution would like to read it. Since this was my first foray, my first step into the field of literature, English literature, as I told you, I've been a student of law, but I've grown up in the environment of English literature, reading English literature. And I'm probably making a tongue-in-cheek statement. I would rather like to share it that I was very glad to read only just about 2 days back that even Rabindranath Tagore was a lawyer. So was Muhammad Iqbal, who wrote Sare Jahan Se Achha Hindustan Hamara. So, well, it gave me quite an assurance that yes, it means people can really write good literature who have done law. And I happen to be one of those. So that was one hope in my mind now, resting that yes, this book is going to be accepted by some people. At least some people are going to read it. And incidentally, in fact, I feel a little constrained because this book is in English. And I'm very, very soon looking forward to be writing it. I do not know whether I shall be able to write a suitable Hindi translation of this book. But I shall definitely be looking forward to some help if it can come forth. I would have these poems recomposed into Hindi, and be presented to every person who so that it can be read by anyone in this country, even abroad. So there are certain remarks I would like to acquaint you with. There is one very dear Mr. Subramaniam in Hyderabad. He is 85-year-old, and I'm sure you would be interested in knowing what he has written about this book. He has read this book, and he writes, yeah, he says, the book Blossoms of the 50th Winter, a ballad on the Constitution by Arun Kumar Vashishta is really a poetic achievement. The vocabulary is so musical and heart-touching and created an enthusiasm. Both imaginations and realities are artistically blended and woven together. Chapters became the pillars of this magnificent structure. Each pillar has got its own unique flavor that one will never forget. People will be enlightened after reading this book. It is a real contribution of the nation. B. Subramaniam, Hyderabad, 24th November, 2021. So this is a fan of this book. And Mr. Subramaniam, may God bless him with at least 100 years, or maybe 150, or maybe 200, as long as he would love to be with us on this planet, and we would rather love him to be here. So that's what he writes. In fact, there's another aspect which, by virtue of its name, and as Madam Monica Sharma said, its color is the cover is attractive. I think it's the cover which is making, which is getting a lot of appreciation. I have one from I belong to a beautiful village called village Rakkad in Himachal Pradesh, in Baijnath Tehsil of Himachal Pradesh. Our Gram Sabha has given a message, given a notification, and my readers, my listeners might be interested to know this. I would just read it out in brief. Dr. Chiranjeev, Dr. Rohtas, would you?
5 minutes, sir.
Okay, I'm left with 5 minutes. It is प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर कर्नल अरुण कुमार जी वशिष्ठ निवासी रक्कड़ भेड़ी बैजनाथ जी को उनके द्वारा लिखित पुस्तक भारत के संविधान पर एक गीत के लिए शुभकामनाएं। ये हमारी पंचायत के लिए गौरव का विषय है। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि 26/11/2021 को शाम 4 से 5 बजे तक नीचे दिए गए लिंक पर जाकर उसी संदर्भ में अपने अमूल्य व्याख्यान को अवश्य सुने। धन्यवाद। So this book, ladies and gentlemen, is going to my people, and I would be reading just one odd poem because that is what I was told that I should be doing. The Illumination. It has a subheading also, the talkative brook, a whispering brook of mellowed thoughts, sallied down from the Vaikuntha, cradled in the middle of the Kshir Sagar, the endless ocean of the milk of knowledge, the inscrutable abode of Lord the Vishnu. There resided beyond the firmaments of primordial omniscience, hidden in the midst of the folds of light, the pious paragon of perennial wisdom, inaccessible even to the Varun and Indra, the dancing brook of diamond drops that Hubert sharing her secrets with the curious pebbles and suppressed giggle, often flowed from the land of the coot and hern on its way to its destined course. Collected now the mortal extracts in all told answers to the queries of precocious Nachiketa, the son of Vajrashrava, the unrelenting donor. That's how it goes. And now I'll read a little bit of its commentary. The brook represents the flow of political thought, which had its central objective as the formulation and drafting of the Constitution of India. Its whispers and giggles are the representations of the confabulations of various political parties, groups, and intelligentsia. The talkative brook is flowing over the pebbles and dales, regaling them with conversations, whispering to them the visions of her travel, swiftly rushing to meet the big river down below to ultimately share its secrets with the river and merge completely. And that is how it goes. I have called the provisions of the Constitution of India as the hymns of immortality. ये अमरत्व के मंत्र हैं, whether it is Article 14 of equality or it's any other article. Hymns of immortality, the twin chords. The garrulous spring whispered unto the breeze, hymns composed in the notations of life and liberty, while descending down to moisten the parched lips and gullets of the expectant multitudes. Some 320 million fit and walking, 32 crore जनसंख्या थी उसमें भारत की, fit and walking in undulated crescendo of even ever pure and providential Bharati, the lyrics of innocence alliterated in varied pattern and hue, of the overstretched chords, oh dried horse, by the reciting in a crescendo the inimitable mantra, the renderings of the Song of Freedom. And that Song of Freedom is the famous Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patit Pavan Sitaram that was given to us by Bapu. And I have explained that in this manner. Though sweetened by the sonorous recitals of dawn and dusk as brought to them in a voluble rhyme by a scantily clad incarnation of Lord, humbly armed with the staff and looking glass of rounded rims. And now with the desire whetted by the freshly attained the liberty of thought and expression, regulated by the omniscience of Oriental mass. There our Jodhpur clad, khadi adorned, the Kanjivaram draped, juristic stalwarts, and some benevolent royalty peering over the ornate walnut tables, restrained their exuberance, but led their irrepressible alliterations of guarantees to the all and sundry, and to attain maximum good of the maximum us, then we, the people of India, set out to scribe a profound lyrical rhyme of excellence, the Constitution of India. And that is how it goes over and over and comes to the 21st point. So that's about the book. About the publisher, I must have a word. It's published by Tesla Publishers. And is available on Amazon as well. I've tried to make it easier to understand and comprehend by writing commentary to this book. And it has been read by the poets of India, some poets of India. And I want to make it accessible to the common man, as it is dedicated to him, basically. So that's all I have to say about my book. Any questions? If there are, please do ask me. You're most welcome. I can't hear anybody.
Thank
Dr.
you
Silky?
so much, sir, Thank you so very much for sharing so wonderfully about your book and sharing the highlights and glimpses of the same. Now, I would be requesting our other guest, Ms. Monica Sharma, Principal of DAV Public School, to please share her remarks for the day and about the book. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Silky. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Silky. Good afternoon to all the eminent personalities here right in front of me. And it is my privilege and honor to be on this platform on this auspicious occasion of the 72nd National Constitution Day. I extend my warm greetings to Dr. Gurinder Singh Ji, the Vice Chancellor of Amity Universities, and thank the Amity University for this great opportunity to be here as a guest for the event. I have immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vishisht, and my pleasure doubles to know that he is also alumni of DAV. So on behalf of entire DAV fraternity, sir, I congratulate you on your 4th book, as Silky has already mentioned, but I would again like to mention here that Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vishesh, the eminent author who have an illustrious career as an officer in the Indian Army for 32 years. Salute to you, sir. It's a great long period. And then Dean of a law school in a university, and has authored 4 books on tenure and termination of services, Mind the Wonderful Wizard, India-China Relations, and presently Blossoms of the 50th Winter, a ballet on the Constitution, about which he has so beautifully shared. And I am sure everyone is encouraged to grab the book, the copy of their own. And believe me, I would like to share from one of his poems, the lines which really touched me. It is from Vows of Life and Liberty. I think every common man struggles for this. What is his vow for his own particular life and how he fights for the liberty? Every person will have different ideas, notions about it. But Dr. Arun Kumar Vishisht has very beautifully written here, taking the story thus forward. So I think every day is a new beginning for us. Though in the prime of life, young and not yet possessed of the latent power of procreating zeal, but suffused with seminal faith in future state. And very beautifully explained that I think the person who is not interested to know about how the Constitution was framed and how much struggle the people have to undergo, this has made so easy for the young, especially the youth of India, to get connected and once again feel proud that they belong to such rich constitution all over the world. So this is that taking the story forward, independent Republic India is in the prime of its life. So it really touched my heart that once India was also in the prime, in the youthful period, and students can easily correlate their life with the growth of their country. And young and not yet possessed of the latent power and the complex machination of amendments as of procreating zeal for new legislations, its faith in the existence of a future state. So I can easily correlate that every youthful person is struggling with this, thing, the way our country has evolved over the period of time. So the other lines which I really like, the 7 divisions, the bridle of the will. It's chapter 16th. For the erudite now, how wide is the term law? Well, it is for sure wide enough to hold acts of parliament and legislatures, bylaws, rules, ordinances and orders, regulations and custom or usage of practice, but the power to legislate is by far not unfettered. The reins are tied to the bridle of the will. So at present also, sir, before having this beautiful interaction with you, I was also feeling the same way: ordinance, orders, law. So once I read few poems, I could easily correlate, like it is a everyday struggle. It's, I would say it's a faith which is equaling to our daily life. And the explanation again made by you is so heart touching, that for those in fact who have read a lot and are thus by hard study, among the people erudite now must explain to those who do not know, for they are not so well read, how wide is the term the law. So thank you, sir, for making this difficult term law so easy and approachable to the youth of today. So
Thank you.
I'm really thankful and feeling really privileged to have such encounter with you, to have all thanks to Dr. Rohtash for providing this opportunity, and not saying much. I'm really honored, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure mine. Pleasure's mine.
Have a great evening. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Monica, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts and knowledge with all of us, and making it a wonderful day full of feeling of pride and patriotism for our nation, and that too in such a poetic way. Thank you so much. Now, a lot of students of your school have also joined us and given so many compliments for the session, and making an audience of close to 200. And many students.
Silky, I think 1 or 2 students of mine were about to ask a question. So
yes.
If you may just...
Sure, please. I think they must be loud.
Yes, I was just coming on to that. I can see in the chat box, there are few questions about the book. Harshit Chan, one of the students, he's asking, what is this 50th winter? So, however, sir also answered that, but still the question is, what is this 50th winter?
50th winter is the year 1950. Though our constitution was ready, the Constituent Assembly presented it on 26th of November 1949, the day which we are celebrating today. But it was promulgated, it was announced and handed over to the nation, or applied on the nation, on the 26th of January 1950. January is a winter month, is the heart of winter, and 50th is 1950. So it's the 50th winter of that century, right?
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Hope that answers.
That's what my book shows. It's a winter. It's all winter all around, all snow. That's the 50th winter.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Another student, Pallavi Radha, she's asking question. How did you get the idea of that the Constitution of India can be in poetry form?
Oh, well. First of all, thanks to Harshit who asked me the first question, and it's a beautiful question. It's a very good question that Pallavi is asking me. Yeah, Pallavi, because I have met people, beautiful people like you, that's why. I could write anything in poetry. I could write a poem on Pallavi also, why not? One on Pallavi. Well, Constitution is, as we have been seeing it, it's a constitution. Give me a book of constitution. We just toss it around. हम कहते हैं संविधान, भारत का संविधान, उसके अंदर मेरे अधिकार हैं, जिंदाबाद, and everything. But no, it has poetry. It's so beautiful. When I read this book, I have read it many times as a student of constitution, as a professor of constitution, and then again a student of constitution. So मुझे बहुत खूबसूरत लगा ये. बहुत सुंदर लगा मुझे संविधान. So I thought, why not write a poem on it? And so I wrote. And whenever when you fall in love with somebody, Pallavi, what do? You are in love with your mother. What do? You write a poem about your mother, don't you? So, or you have a younger brother, you love him. So क्या करते हो, एक कविता बना देते हो उसके ऊपर. तो मैं भी संविधान से मोहब्बत करता हूँ, तो मैंने इसके ऊपर कविता बना दी, so that all of you could read. Yeah.
True. I think singing or poetry can be done only when you are in a very happy and excited state of mind, actually, when you are in extreme love
Yes.
someone. So that's how the music comes by heart. So well answered, sir. Thank you so much. Now,
we all love our country. We all love our country.
Asking question. Agree. Another student, Ms. Sakshi Rana, she's asking question. Sir,
yes.
You served in the Indian Army as a commissioned officer, then yes. a professor of law, and now you are as an author. What do you feel about this journey?
How do I feel about this journey? Well, I feel very good. बहुत अच्छा लगता है. It's a very interesting journey. It's a lot of variety. It's interesting journey and adventurous, of course. I was very devoted soldier. I loved my motherland as a soldier. Then I became a professor. I loved to be a professor because I had done PhD. So obviously nobody would take me anything else. Professor to I had done PhD, so I had nothing else to do but to be a professor. And thereafter I became an author because probably again I had nothing else to do. It is a good journey. It's a beautiful journey because ये हम सबका दायित्व है. साक्षी राणा, right? साक्षी.
Yes, sir.
ये साक्षी, ये हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है. और ये जब आप अभी स्कूल में है, she must be in 11th standard, is she?
Yes.
She's in 11th. Yeah, okay, fine. Good, I guessed it right. So हम जब 11th, 12th standard में आते हैं साक्षी, तो हम ये सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं कि how could we be useful to ourselves and to the society and to others. क्योंकि उस समय हम इस अवस्था में आ जाते हैं जब हम कुछ काम औरों के लिए भी कर सकते हैं. उससे पहले तो सभी काम हम सबसे करवाते रहते हैं अपने लिए. But when you get into that age, when you are just about 15 or 16 years, you're on the other side of the teens and you're nearing 20s, then आप दूसरों के लिए भी काम कर सकते हैं. And you start thinking about others, right? So when you start thinking about others and you study, say for instance आप भी मास्टर्स करते हैं, उसके बाद PhD करते हैं किसी भी सब्जेक्ट में, तो जब आप डॉक्टरेट करेंगे तो आप दूसरों के बारे में सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं. You start writing for others. You make things. We become like, we just become like farmers. You grow good corn, you grow good wheat. आप अच्छी चीजें उगाते हैं, दूसरों को स्वादिष्ट लगे, दूसरों के भले के लिए, दूसरों के अच्छे के लिए. उसी प्रकार जब आप बहुत अच्छी पढ़ाई करते हैं तो आप ऐसी चीजें लिखते हैं, ऐसी पढ़ाई करवाते हैं जो दूसरों को अच्छी लगे. इस धरती को, इस पूरी कायनात को, इस सृष्टि को हम और सुंदर बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं. That is the purpose of our journey. आर्म फोर्सेस में था तो अपनी सेना की सुंदरता को कायम रखने के लिए कोशिश करता रहा, उसके अनुशासन को कायम रखने की भी कोशिश करता रहा. जब मैं प्रोफेसर बना तो जितना बेहतरीन, जितना अच्छे तरीके से मैं अपनी काबिलियत के हिसाब से पढ़ा सकता था, मैं पढ़ाता था. अब मैं ऑथर बन गया हूं तो ये कोशिश करता हूं, और हर शब्द में, साक्षी आप स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ये जरूर काम आएगा, हर शब्द के अंदर एक म्यूजिक होता है, एक सुर होता है, एक लय होता है. और जब आप उन्हें मोहब्बत करते हैं, जब आप उन शब्दों के साथ प्यार करते हैं, तो आपको वो म्यूजिक सुनाई देना शुरू हो जाता है ना. अब गीत है, बहुत अच्छे अच्छे गीत हैं, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, यह हमारा राष्ट्रीय गान है ना, ये वंदे मातरम है. तो उन शब्दों के बीच में संगीत है, और वो संगीत जब आप पढ़ते हैं, ध्यान से देखते हैं, तो वो संगीत आपकी समझ में आने लगता है, वो आपको सुनने लग जाता है। बस शायद मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही हुआ। मैंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बारंबार पढ़ा और मुझे उसका संगीत सुनने लग गया। एंड सो इस जर्नी में आई केप्ट डूइंग माई ड्यूटी, माई जॉब। जैसे आप स्टूडेंट, आप बेहतरीन तरीके से पढ़ें, आप अपने टीचर्स की बहुत सम्मान करें, उनके सामने बहुत ही ओबीडियंस और आदर के साथ बैठें, तो जो कुछ वो पढ़ाएंगे आपको समझ में आएगा और आपको भी उसका संगीत दिखना शुरू हो जाएगा। और जब आप आगे बढ़ेंगे तो आप उनकी पढ़ी हुई पढ़ाई को एक संगीत में परिवर्तित करके आप इसी प्रकार की एक ब्लॉसम्स तैयार कर देंगे। Right? So the journey has been really good. It's been very interesting and very adventurous. जीवन तो वैसे भी सफर है। Okay, thank you.
True, sir. Thank you so much. We should try to make others' journey also beautiful along with
That's
the
more
life
important.
that we are living.
That's very important.
Wonderful message that you have given, sir. And now I would be requesting our Vice President, Mr. Anil Kumar Chaudhary, sir. Sir, today we had a wonderful session and we went through the launching of this book and we heard Miss Monica Sharma ma'am. I would be requesting you to please deliver a vote of thanks and summarize the day in which we just heard Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht and Miss Monica Sharma. Over to you, sir.
प्रणाम सर, सबसे पहले सर्वप्रथम
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार मैडम, नमस्कार सर। It's a real my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks to such a learned people. I should say the Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji. He is a well-read person, because yesterday I have discussed with him for a long time, for 1 hour at least, and I got the feel about him, that what kind of person he is. And today I have just heard Madam Monica. She is also a different kind of, I find that the manner she has explained the book, it's very nice. I should say it's very nice. So it's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who have worked very hard, especially Dr. Rohtas ji and the other doctor of library. Both of them have really done a wonderful job. And this is the second series of author's book. This is the second series, because they have just started this process. Chiranjit Lal ji and Rohtas ji both have started this process. And this program has been organized by Central Library. So this is another thing I just wanted to convey, and I acknowledge your wonderful the program. I really thanks to Dr. Colonel Arun Kumar Vashisht ji, the manner you have explained about the Constitution. But before I say, because a lot of students are there from DAB school, so I must say that why we are here today. They must understand that why we are here today. Today is the Constitution Day. It is a Samvidhan Divas, and also known as a National Law Day. It's a Samvidhan Divas, it's a National Law Day. It's celebrated in India on 26th November every year to commemorate the adoption of the Constitution of India on 26th November 1949. So this our student must know. And the Constitution Assembly of India adopted to the Constitution of India, and it came into effect on 26 January 1950. So these are the information I wanted to give my students who are attending this. The Government of India declared 26th November as Constitution Day on 19th November 2015. That is by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And Mr. B.R. Ambedkar, who chaired the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly, played a pivotal role in the drafting of the Constitution, and he is known as the father of the Indian Constitution. I thought I must inform that why we are here today. What I should say is a very simple word that I must respect, pay my gratitude to Colonel Basist sir, that you have accepted our request and you have spared your valuable time, very valuable time with us, busiest time with us, and explained about the Constitution in a very different manner. We are sincerely thankful to you, and we wish that success of your book, that book should blossom of the 50th winter, evolved on the Constitution, should be read by each and everybody. We would also request that whenever our campus will be fully operational, please do visit our campus and just interact with our students.
That pleasure, sir.
More informative, and the students will also enjoy this. We are very sincerely grateful to our respected Group Vice Chancellor, who has given this forum to be here and to interact and to know something about the Indian Constitution. I am sincerely thankful to Madam Monica ji, who is here with us along with the students, because this is something, again, a new chapter in our campus. Because so far we have been organizing this program, but the students were not there. And if the students are there, then the scenario is something different. So I am really thankful to you that you joined this program along with the student. And I'm sincerely thankful to you and to all my children, my students who are here today and who are attending this program. I hope that they must have learned a lot from this talk. I am sincerely grateful to our dean, our faculty, our HOD, our faculty, our students who have joined this program, and they were here with us. They have made this program a grand success. With these words, I once again pay my respect to Colonel Basist sir and convey my best wishes for the success of your book. And also I convey my best wishes to Madam Monica Sharma on behalf of our Amity University Greater Noida campus, on behalf of our faculty, on behalf of our Group Vice Chancellor, on behalf of our students, that you are here with us. I just wanted to convey from this forum that the message should go to the students that there is a campus named is Amity University Greater Noida campus. People know Amity University in the name of Noida campus mostly. So I would like to just request you that whenever you are talking to a student, also talk about that Amity University Greater Noida campus is very close to them, and they should visit here and they should know that how we are working. Because this is one of the best campus, green campus in your area. And I would request Madam Monica Sharma also to visit our campus sometime and be here with us, address our students, and also interact with our students. Then you can only give message to your students that how our campus is running.
Thank you so much, sir.
I am sincerely grateful to the Madam Silky Sharma. Whenever you require, she is there all the time. And she is doing very excellent job as a master of ceremony. So we are sincerely thankful to you, madam. And we hope that whenever there will be another session, again you will support to Dr. Rohtas Singh ji and Chiranjeev ji for conducting this program. So with these words, I thank all of you, and I wish that the similar program should again be conducted in the next month. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
So much, sir.
Thank
you, everyone. And
Dr.
big round of
Vashisht.
applause to all the esteemed guests, our senior dignitaries, Mr. A.K. Chaudhary, sir, all the deans, head of the departments, our librarian head and assistant head of library, all the students who have joined us from DAV Public School, as urged by ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, and our all in-house students. Thank you very much. Hope to see everyone in the campus. As sir said, when things will be operational fully, so we would like to meet you all in the person. Thank you
Be
so
our pleasure.
much.
It will be our pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you.